describe your style of basketball, your philosophy?
Okay, you ready for this? In like 1995 or 96, I have a brother that coaches high school basketball at the state of Washington. And we were talking one summer, and he was telling me about this offense that he'd read about and had a video on it, and thought, you know what, this fits what you're trying to do, but I think what you've described to me over the last few years, this really would be a great offense for your team at Seattle Pacific. And it was Dick Bennett's blocker mover system. So I studied that and studied it, and we incorporated his offense into what we did at Seattle Pacific with more flexibility and tweaking some things as far as where the screeners are, and also giving the screeners a little bit more freedom to shoot, whether that's right or wrong. That's the way we did it. But that's where it originated from. We allow our guys to play pretty loose. Sometimes I think it's maybe a little looser than it should be. We shoot a lot of threes. Last year, I think we were in the top 5 or 6 in the country in three-point attempts, around 26 a game. But like to get up and down the court, push it in transition, and I like guys that can shoot the ball.
Nick, kind of a follow-up question now for that. Now hearing him talk about his system as a player, how do you like what he has to say about his offensive system?
Yeah, I talked to Coach this morning, and we talked, I was like, coming from Europe, playing different style of basketball, I would say that style of basketball that Coach Bone has would fit me even better than Coach Bennett's. So I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward.
So the starting lineup is already made.
2 spots.
There's a lot of guys shaking their heads.
Any further questions from within the room?
I have one for Jim Sturt. I know you don't want to release the contract negotiation details right now, but could you brief us on whether or not in the dress code there will be a necktie clause?
That's up to the coach.
Good answer.
Okay, do we have any questions online? Sure. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ken. I'm sorry. I got this thing on TV. I'm all confused. Jim Moore from SeattlePI.com. I'm just wondering, being a Shorecrest High graduate, if you grew up in Seattle, if you were indeed a big Husky fan as a kid.
As a kid? As a kid? I was a college basketball fan.
It's very political.
and really, I probably spent more time. My dad was a high school coach for a lot of years, and I probably spent more time at Seattle Pacific University watching their practices prior to my brother and myself going to school there. But I've always been a college basketball fan, and none of my family ever went to Washington, although it's a great institution, and it's, you know, the second best in the state. It's good. Where did Jim go to school?
Did he hear that?
I don't know.
Mr. Moore, did you hear that?
Did you hear that, Jim?
Probably means yes.
Any other?
Any further questions online?
Well, the TV's about 10 seconds ahead of me. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's good.
This is Bud with the Seattle Times. Ken, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I think I may have missed earlier. Have you spoken the remaining systems yet?
Have you spoken to the remaining systems?
Bud, no, I've not. I've talked to one of them on the phone a little bit, but mostly that was because of scheduling, trying to get a game for Portland State. But other than that, we have not talked about the position.
Any further questions?
Sure.
Tell them you have a Labrador Retriever.
Probably the most fun I have is just hanging out with the family. Whatever they want to do. Usually it's some serious tickle fights with the young one, and just hanging out with my older daughters, having fun as much as they'll let me hang out with them. Oh, and then my wife too. We like to. Go to dinner, see a movie, play Scrabble.
Anything else? Well, hearing none. Any more questions from within the room? Scott.
Coach, I'd like to know who you consider your mentor as a coach.
You know, like I said earlier, I'm not saying this because he was a Cougar, because he was also a Husky. But Coach Harshman, I've spent a lot of time with over the years, but also my dad, my brother, and really anybody that I can steal techniques from, strategies from. I mean, it could be at my daughter's middle school volleyball practice. If I see something going on that I think, you know what, I can incorporate that into our practice or into a game, just the way that coach dealt with that situation. I'm always looking for ways to improve as a coach. So I've just tried to steal from as many coaches and people out there that I can.
Anything further? Okay, with that, we will break into some one-on-ones for the media. The players are available, and we'll be able to do that somewhere on the sides. And thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it.